Get down. The command shattered the mountain stillness as Victor Grayson, the self-appointed Ironwood Ridge security chief, leveled his Sig Sauer at my daughter Brooke's head, her only crime parking her rescue unit vehicle in a visitor spot. In an instant, fear morphed into disbelief. The gun hadn't fired, the weapon had changed hands. Brooke, calm and lethal from years of Coast Guard rescue swimmer training, disarmed him in a single motion. The neighborhood froze. Minutes later, real police arrived. Grayson's empire of intimidation had picked the wrong target. The first crack in the HOA's 8-year grip had begun. I'm Ethan Carter, retired U.S. Coast Guard officer, now living quietly with my wife in Ironwood Ridge, Colorado, a mountain community wrapped in beauty and suffocating control. For 12 years, we endured HOA micromanagement mailboxes had to be timberland tan, grass trimmed weekly to exactly 2 inches, and even flowers were limited to HOA-approved native species. Every week, inspectors walked past our home, measuring, documenting. We kept our heads down, complied with every absurd demand. But when my daughter Brooke, fresh from instructing elite rescue swimmers, returned home for a rare visit, her arrival unknowingly set the first domino crashing. Brooke pulled into our driveway in her modified rescue vehicle after a grueling 72-hour training rotation. Exhausted yet focused, she unloaded heavy equipment she had brought to upgrade our home's security. Technically, her vehicle sat 12 minutes over the HOA's rigid 30-minute visitor parking limit. Just as we finished, her phone rang a call from a distressed trainee experiencing a severe PTSD episode. Brooke sat calmly on our couch, guiding the young man through breathing exercises and emergency protocols. By the time she hung up, the vehicle remained parked. Neither of us realized the small oversight would ignite a war. The doorbell shattered our peaceful lunch. The pounding wasn't a knock, it was a demand. I opened the door to Victor Grayson, the HOA's self-proclaimed enforcer, wearing a knockoff security uniform with a crudely sewn Ironwood Ridge patch. Clipboard in hand, mirrored sunglasses reflecting his self-importance, he barked that Brooke's vehicle had exceeded the parking limit by 12 minutes and a tow truck was en route alongside a $500 fine. His tone dripped with rehearsed authority. Brooke, despite her fatigue, appeared beside me calm and collected. She respectfully explained the emergency call, requesting a brief extension. Grayson, undeterred, pulled out his phone, filming her face inches away, attempting to provoke a reaction. When she turned to de-escalate, he grabbed her arm roughly. Instinct kicked in. In a flash, Brooke pivoted, freeing herself and sending Grayson stumbling backward into our pine shrubs. His humiliation was instant. Unknowingly, the lines for the coming battle had been drawn. 20 minutes later, we spotted Grayson marching back up our driveway, joined by Marcia Caldwell, the Ironwood Ridge HOA president, and police chief Harmon, longtime golfing buddies and allies in neighborhood compliance. Grayson spun a false narrative claiming Brooke had assaulted him without cause. I watched in disbelief as Chief Harmon patted Grayson's shoulder and returned the confiscated firearm without question. The message was clear. Power was firmly entrenched in Ironwood Ridge. That evening, a neighbor quietly slipped us the agenda for an emergency HOA meeting scheduled for the next night. The purpose, a vote to expel the Carter family for assaulting security personnel and endangering community safety. The document's inflammatory language painted Brooke as unstable and dangerous. Brooke paced our living room, phone pressed to her ear as she contacted Aiden Tran, her old college friend and now a civil rights attorney specializing in HOA abuse. Her voice was steady. The battle lines had hardened. Brooke and Aiden worked tirelessly, piecing together a disturbing pattern. Public records and anonymous resident testimonies revealed Grayson had a sealed assault charge from his mall security days. HOA financial records provided by disillusioned former treasurer Rebecca Lynn exposed hundreds of thousands of dollars siphoned from homeowners over 5 years. Payments disguised as consulting fees funneled into shell companies tied to Marcia Caldwell. Grayson received a personal salary of $70,000 annually for his unofficial security role. Maintenance contracts were triple market value awarded to businesses owned by Marcia's relatives. Even worse, Chief Harmon accepted community donations redirected into his personal accounts. Residents who dared speak out, like the Wilsons, fined for their son's autism-related behaviors, or the Patels harassed for questioning pool renovation delays, were systematically targeted. The plan was sinister: drive families out, buy homes at a loss, flip them for profit. Brooke stared at the document's jaw set. They had found the smoking gun. The community center was packed. Marcia had made attendance mandatory, confident the vote to expel us would pass. Brooke arrived early, front row, flanked by Aiden and supportive residents. When Marcia launched into her tirade, Brooke calmly invoked her right to address the assembly under HOA bylaws. Connecting her laptop to the projector, she revealed damning evidence, falsified invoices, inflated contracts, payments to Grayson, and Chief Harmon's bribes. Gasps rippled through the crowd as photos, spreadsheets, and surveillance footage played. Just as Marcia tried to adjourn the meeting, FBI Special Agent Carter and a county sheriff entered. The takedown had begun. The arrest sent shockwaves through Ironwood Ridge. Grayson faced multiple felony charges: unlicensed firearm possession, assault, extortion, impersonating law enforcement. Caldwell was charged with embezzlement, fraud, and conspiracy. Chief Harmon was suspended, later indicted on federal corruption charges. Residents, once paralyzed by fear, stepped forward to testify. A court-ordered audit recovered over $300,000 in stolen HOA funds. A new board was elected with strict transparency rules and spending oversight. Jennifer Lopez, a former community manager, became president and cut HOA fees by 40%. Ironwood Ridge transformed from a dictatorship into a model of ethical community governance. 6 weeks later, Brooke launched Community Shield, a nonprofit dedicated to fighting HOA abuse nationwide. Using her military training, she created guides on documentation, legal strategy, and building neighborhood alliances. The program rapidly expanded, assisting over 30 communities in its first year. Ironwood Ridge became known as the Carter Standard, a blueprint for transparent governance. Brooke balanced her Coast Guard duties with advocacy, training residents to protect their rights without confrontation. National media picked up the story, inspiring communities coast to coast. As we watched families reclaim their neighborhoods, I knew Brooke's unexpected battle had sparked lasting nationwide change.